When Jack White stepped onto Ford Field during halftime, nobody expected the underground rumble that would shake the entire stadium seconds later. The crowd went absolutely insane when a figure started rising from beneath the stage. And what happened next turned a simple Thanksgiving halftime show into one of the most explosive moments in NFL entertainment history. But here's what most people don't know about this performance. And trust me, the behind-the-scenes story gets even wilder. Jack White opened his set with "That's How I'm Feeling" from his 2024 album, getting the crowd warmed up. But something felt different. The energy in Ford Field was electric, almost like everyone sensed something massive was about to go down. White, the 12-time Grammy winner and freshly inducted Rock and Roll Hall of Fame member, was absolutely crushing it with his signature guitar work. But keep watching, because the real shock was building underneath that stage. People in the front row started noticing strange movements below, and then it happened. Eminem burst through the floor in the most dramatic entrance you'll ever see at an NFL game, and the place completely lost it. The rap icon, wearing all black, emerged like he was summoning himself from the depths of Detroit itself. And what came next was pure chaos in the best possible way. The duo launched into a hard rock version of Eminem's legendary track, "Till I Collapse." And this wasn't some watered-down collaboration. White's raw guitar riffs merged with Eminem's aggressive delivery in a way that felt dangerous, unpredictable, and absolutely perfect. Fans were jumping, screaming, losing their minds as two of Detroit's biggest legends shared the same stage for the first time in this context. But wait until you hear why this performance almost didn't happen and what Eminem's real role in all of this actually is. The Packers and Lions players on the sidelines stopped what they were doing just to watch, and even the announcers went silent for a moment, completely stunned by what was unfolding.
Now, here's where things get really interesting. Eminem wasn't just making a surprise cameo for fun. He's actually the executive producer of the entire Lions Thanksgiving halftime show through a multi-year partnership that runs until 2027. Yeah, you heard that right. Marshall Mathers and his longtime manager Paul Rosenberg, president of Shady Records, cut a deal with the Detroit Lions to completely transform these halftime performances into must-see television. The Lions brought in Jesse Collins Entertainment, the same production company behind Rihanna's Super Bowl halftime show and Kendrick Lamar's legendary 2022 performance, meaning Detroit is playing in the big leagues now. This wasn't some local gig thrown together last minute. This was calculated, strategic, and designed to make a statement. The partnership announcement came weeks before Thanksgiving, but Lions fans had no idea Eminem would actually perform. Everyone assumed he'd stay behind the scenes, picking talent and overseeing production while staying out of the spotlight. Wrong. Eminem's been one of the Lions' most famous fans for decades, repping the team through their worst years, and when the opportunity came to blow everyone's minds on Thanksgiving, he couldn't resist. But the way he did it, rising from beneath the stage like some kind of rap deity, was pure theater. White knew exactly what was happening, playing up the moment, building tension with his guitar before Eminem's entrance, and the timing was flawless. These two Detroit legends weren't just performing together, they were making history. Jack White's connection to Detroit runs bone deep. Born and raised in the Motor City, he attended Cass Tech High School before forming the White Stripes with drummer Meg White back in 1997. That duo revolutionized garage rock and put Detroit back on the global music map during the early 2000s when the city desperately needed it. White never abandoned his hometown either. His record label, Third Man Records, maintains a retail location right in the heart of Detroit, and he's donated massive amounts of money to local causes, including paying off the Detroit Masonic Temple's tax debt to save the venue from foreclosure. When the Lions needed someone to headline their biggest game of the year, White was the obvious choice, but nobody saw the Eminem collaboration coming.
After the "Till I Collapse" performance ended, White transitioned into arguably the most recognizable sports anthem ever created, Seven Nation Army. That iconic bass line, the one that stadiums worldwide have adopted as a rallying cry, absolutely thundered through Ford Field. The Detroit Lions cheerleaders flooded the field. The entire crowd was chanting along, and you could feel the energy through the television screens. This wasn't just a halftime show anymore. This was Detroit claiming its moment. showing the entire country that the city's cultural influence stretches far beyond what people remember. The performance lasted roughly 12 to 15 minutes, but the impact will resonate for years. The Lions versus Packers rivalry added another layer to this whole situation. Green Bay came to Detroit on Thanksgiving with playoff implications on the line. And the Lions weren't just trying to win a football game. They were defending their home turf, backed by their city's most legendary artists. The halftime show became a statement of Detroit pride, a middle finger to anyone who doubted the city's relevance, and the reminder that when Detroit does something, they do it bigger and louder than anyone else. Quarterback Jared Goff and the Lions were fighting for their season, but Eminem and White were fighting for something bigger, the soul of a city that's been counted out too many times. Before the game even started, gospel legend CeCe Winans delivered a powerful rendition of the national anthem, setting the tone for an unforgettable day. Winans, a 17-time Grammy winner and Detroit native herself, brought the spiritual weight that only someone from that city could deliver. But most viewers watching from home had no idea what was coming during halftime. Social media exploded the moment Eminem appeared, with fans posting videos, screenshots, and reactions faster than anyone could keep up. The NFL's official Twitter account shared the performance immediately, racking up millions of views within minutes, and suddenly everyone was talking about Detroit again.
What makes this partnership between Eminem and the Lions so brilliant is the long-term vision. This wasn't a one-time stunt. The deal runs through 2027, meaning Eminem and Rosenberg will handpick performers and oversee production for 3 consecutive Thanksgiving games. They're treating this like the Super Bowl halftime show, bringing in A-list talent, world-class production, and creating moments that transcend football. The Lions finally have something the Cowboys can't compete with: authentic Detroit energy, raw and unfiltered. Dallas might have bigger names sometimes, but they'll never have the cultural weight that comes from Eminem and Jack White representing their actual hometown. The crowd inside Ford Field knew they were witnessing something special, but the implications stretch far beyond one performance. Detroit's been clawing its way back for years, rebuilding its reputation, attracting new businesses, and reminding the world why it matters. This halftime show was another brick in that foundation, another reminder that Detroit creates culture, not just consumes it. Eminem could perform anywhere in the world, charge whatever he wants, and sell out arenas in seconds. But he chose to surprise fans at a Lions game, rising from beneath the stage for a city that raised him, and that means something. White's setlist choice was deliberate too. Opening with That's How I'm Feeling, a newer track that showcases his evolution as an artist, then bringing out Eminem for Till I Collapse, one of the most motivational tracks ever recorded, and closing with 7 Nation Army, the ultimate stadium anthem. Every song built on the last, creating a narrative arc that felt intentional and powerful. White's guitar tone was raw and aggressive, matching Eminem's energy perfectly, and the production quality was flawless. Jesse Collins Entertainment earned their paycheck, coordinating lighting, stage effects, and camera angles that captured every moment in stunning detail.
Fans leaving Ford Field that day weren't just talking about the game. They were talking about the performance, the surprise, the energy, and how Detroit just reminded everyone why they're the realest city in America. The Lions might have won or lost the game, but they definitely won the culture war. Other NFL teams are already watching, wondering how they can replicate this magic. But they can't. You can't manufacture authenticity. You can't fake the bond between artists and their hometown. Detroit has Eminem, Jack White, and a long list of legends who actually care about representing their city, and that's something money can't buy. The Feeding America partnership added another meaningful layer to the event. Throughout the game, viewers were encouraged to donate at feedingamerica.org/tackle to help provide meals for families experiencing food insecurity. Nearly 50 million people in America, including almost 14 million children, face hunger regularly, and the Lions aim to raise enough funds to provide 5 million meals. Verizon also hosted a pregame activation where fans could pack hunger relief kits outside Ford Field, racing against the clock to fill donation bags faster than Verizon's network speed. Entertainment and charity merged seamlessly, showing that big moments can serve bigger purposes.
Looking forward, the question everyone's asking is who Eminem will bring in for Thanksgiving 2026 and 2027. The bar is set impossibly high now. Jack White and Eminem together was a nuclear option, the kind of collaboration that fans dream about but rarely see. Whoever performs next will face massive expectations, but if anyone can deliver, it's Eminem and Rosenberg. They understand Detroit's music scene better than anyone. They have connections to every major artist in multiple genres, and they clearly aren't afraid to take risks. The smart money says we'll see more surprise collaborations, more Detroit legends, and more moments that make the entire country stop and pay attention. What happened on that Ford Field stage wasn't just a halftime show. It was a declaration. Detroit is back, louder and prouder than ever, and they're not asking for permission anymore. Eminem rising from beneath that stage, Jack White shredding his guitar, the crowd losing their collective minds. All of it represented something bigger than football or music. It represented a city that refuses to stay down, that keeps creating, keeps fighting, and keeps proving that you can't count them out. The Lions' Thanksgiving tradition just became appointment television, and it's all because two legends decided their city deserved the spotlight. Ford Field witnessed history, and if this is just the beginning of Eminem's 3-year run as executive producer, we're in for something absolutely incredible.